Hey, what's up? My name is Daoud Heidami. I am a real estate agent, co-founder and principal of the Catalyst team at Compass, and welcome to a New York conversation where we talk to notable New Yorkers about their New York. And our goal is to support small businesses. So we're going to talk to our guests, find out who their favorite small businesses are, and then repost this interview on our IG live page and our YouTube page. So check us out because we're going to tag the small businesses and and give them much love and support. Oh, also, we're proud to be part of this upcoming gala for Trinity Place Shelter, whose mission is to help LGBTQIA plus youth in NYC to safely transition out of their shelter system. It's going to be a fun gala on October 28th, so visit trinityplacegala.com for more information. That's how you get tickets. So join us. It's going to be a good time. Excited to have Kathy Searle as our special guest. Kathy is an amazing and talented actor. Yay! What's
I'm
up?
so excited. It's my first time live on Instagram.
Oh,
Hi.
it is so good to see your face. It's been
I know you
forever.
too. It's been too long. It's
We
been way
so
too long.
so we did a commercial together. I don't even know what year that was. 2004, 5, 6, but it was so
No.
much
Was
fun.
it that long
Uh,
ago?
it was quite some time.
Was it 2004,
But you
2005?
were so brilliant. You were so brilliant and so funny in it, and I'm such a huge fan of your work and everything you do. Um, so I'm excited to have you on today. But it looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. I lost you there for a second. Um, but Kathy has done a ton of really great work in television, film, and theater. Uh, and I'm excited to see her face when she comes back on. Let's see. We may need to. Oh, all right. Let's just see. Let's just see if we can get her back on here. I love this Instagram live. It's totally like figuring it out in the moment kind of thing. Yay!
Technical difficulties, as usual. As usual.
So Kathy, what's going on?
Hi, pandemic.
Pandemic? Yes.
Yeah.
How was your COVID year?
I
Were, were-
spent a lot of time walking. I was like Forrest Gump. I mean, I just walked aimlessly. People must have thought in my neighborhood, like, is she okay? Um, I just, I thought to myself, well, this is what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
Luckily, thank God for voiceover work. That was still happening, and then some auditions here and there, and then I had actually booked a movie kind of in the height of the pandemic that I shot in North Carolina.
What was that?
It was called Where's Rose, and it actually is premiering next month at the Raindance Film Festival in London.
Oh wow.
Yes. So it was kind of crazy to like go to North Carolina and like pretend that I was a normal actor during COVID times. Yeah, it was crazy.
And were you getting you? I imagine you were getting COVID tested three to five times a week. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And those were like the what do they call them? The brain ticklers. Um, Again, I was like, swab away. I want to be safe. I want to know that we're okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not mind at all. But I have to tell you, I did not fly because I was so nervous to fly. So I drove.
Oh,
So
good
that
for
was like an
you.
interesting 10-hour drive. I
Yeah.
will say not a lot of rest stops open. So that was interesting. I had to like
Yeah.
beg at a Starbucks and say, please, will you just let me pee really fast?
Oh my God. And I imagine they did not let you in, my guess. But
No, they didn't. They didn't.
so this is kind of amazing. You've had this really great, successful career, and I'd really love to hear what your recipe for success is.
Ooh, I love that. I will say a lot of patience, a lot
Hmm.
of perseverance.
Hmm.
But really, it is about staying outside of the actor brain. Because
Hmm.
I think in the actor brain, we get sort of caught up in the self-worth being attached to working.
Hmm.
And I will say, if you go outside of yourself and you volunteer and you kind of lead a normal life, go and be with other people and live,
Hmm.
that I think makes you a better person and it makes you a better actor.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been the biggest thing because in my 20s, it was all about like, I'm going to create relationships. And I was so anxious and just wanting everybody to like me, like me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really lead a normal life. Like I
Hmm.
just was sort of obsessed with my career.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like 30s and now in my 40s where it was like, okay, I think I need to like just slow my roll, go
Yeah.
go live a life. And that's when I felt like, I mean, I was booking,
Yeah.
but booking the jobs I really wanted to be working on wasn't until I was in my mid to late 30s
Yeah.
because I
Wow.
started to be me and
Yeah.
also like let go of the bullshit of thinking I had to be somebody that I'm not.
Hmm.
Because I think when you realize that you are enough
Hmm.
and that the job is the icing on the cake, that
Hmm.
is when, again, work and I think anything in life starts to get a little bit better when you just go, oh, right, I'm enough.
Hmm. That's so well said, Kathy. I mean, like it's so, I think, right on point. Especially it's ringing true for me because of it's the same. I've been on the same exact journey. I mean, like I stopped thinking about that. I started focusing on all these other things, and that's kind of what drew me to real estate. To be honest,
Yeah.
like I found another passion that I really like. It where we really like work with people and help people, and then through our real estate team, we start working with uh, organizations like Trinity Shelter, and all of these things start multiplying, and you're thinking about everyone else but for yourself, and then something like work related happens, and it's just as you say, icing on the cake. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I feel like you going into real estate, that was serendipitous. You just like it was something that came your way and it was meant to be. And I love actually, my mom's a real estate agent as well.
oh,
And
yay.
I think it's such a beautiful thing that you can help people find a home because
Yeah,
I think that's what we're all searching for, a
yeah,
home to live in and this home and this home. So I
yeah,
think it's really
yeah.
beautiful to connect it all and, put a roof over our heads. So I think that's
Right.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So was there a pivotal moment in your career that
Hmm.
that made that kind of, I don't know, um, was there a defining moment, or was there like a role that well, tell me, I'll stop talking.
No, I love it. I was fortunate enough back in the day, James Caleri's office had cast me on Hope and Faith. And I still talk about this experience because I think it was just like, it was, it changed my life. I got to
Mm,
work with Faith Ford, Ted McGinley, Kelly Ripa, Mark Consuelos was on that episode as well. And they really kind of took me under their wing.
mm,
And I had grown up wanting to do sitcoms. And to be
yeah,
on a multi camera sitcom was just incredible.
yeah,
And they just were so kind to me. And I really learned from them because they were pros. They had been in the industry for so long
mm,
of how to be on set.
mm,
And they treated everyone with kindness. They knew everyone's name. And so I really learned so much from them. And I learned that oh God, I want to be on a sitcom so bad. I really do. I just like that's the dream because it's like a 30-minute play live.
yeah,
And it's funny and it takes people out of their mundane existences and they get to laugh. And it was so great. And I learned a lot. Kelly Ripa always said after every job, treat yourself to something where you can, remember that job, remember that
mm,
gig. And so I
mm.
remember after that job, I had bought a pair of Manolo Blahniks that I still wear to this day. They're the only expensive shoes that I ever purchased. And I still look at them and I think of Hope and Faith. And it
Oh wow,
just was and you know what's funny? I played
what?
a real estate agent on Hope and Faith.
Ah.
I play a lot of real estate agents. I love it.
That's so awesome. You're getting lots of love on here from
Hi.
David Riker and
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody.
Sweet Tula and AJ Weddington. So you ended up how did you end up in New York? Where how did New York become your place? And
So I always knew that New York was going to be home. I grew up
yeah,
30 minutes out of the city. I grew up in New Rochelle. And that's actually where I am right now because I was coming up and hanging out with my mom to have
ah,
dinner. And I was like, oh,
that's
I love it.
amazing.
I know, I
Ah,
love it.
so awesome.
Um, so I knew New York just felt right.
Mhm.
And I actually have some friends that went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts with me. And that's where I landed after high school. And I just knew New
Mm.
York is it. It just, and I asked, I think it was Michael Douglas, who was a guest speaker at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
He's great.
Incredible. And I remember being like, when he asked questions, I was like, New York or LA? And he said, come up to me afterwards. And he said, what feels like home? And I said,
Mm.
well, New York does. And he said, well, know that your journey may be a little longer because at that point, we didn't really have as much film and TV as we did.
Yeah.
And he said, but don't get into that. Don't put that pressure. If New York is where you love, like
Mm.
it feels like your heart is here, then
Yeah.
stay where it belongs. Don't feel forced to go to another coast.
Yeah.
Because then you'll have kind of resentment of like, oh, I'm here, I'm wanting work and you sort of get angry. I also
Yeah.
love New York because it's a melting pot.
Yeah.
Everyone is here to pursue a dream. And I think
Yes.
that's so cool.
Yeah, we're around driven people everywhere we go. And
Yeah.
it's the only city that really you can walk outside your front door and be constantly like energized by the people surrounding you. That's kind of really
Yeah.
great.
And you know what? I became an actor because I never wanted people to feel alone. And in New York, you never feel alone. You walk
Yeah.
outside and there's people everywhere. And there's something so freeing about that and
Hmm.
lovely where I never, sometimes when I go to LA, I do feel the loneliness. I'll go to the Third Street Promenade and like have people bump into me. And I'm just like, okay, all right. It feels like a little New York there. But it's just weird, the loneliness out there because everything is so spread out.
Yeah.
But in New York, it's like, everything's crammed in, which I love.
Yeah. Well, you just mentioned the promenade because my next question was going to be, do you have a favorite like a New York corner?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, well, I mean, Seventh Avenue and West Fourth. I
Oh.
love the park there, those
Hmm.
incredible figures that are in that park, and just the history of like the duplex and Stonewall Inn. And it's an
Yes.
incredible place to people watch.
Yeah.
And it's such like all the subways are there and it's just really like it's a fun area. And then even on Sixth Avenue too, where like the
Mm.
basketball court is, and I just love you're getting all walks of New York
Yeah.
around that area, and it's great. Also
Yeah.
great little restaurants and whatnot.
Did you? So you moved from New Rochelle to New York, and what was your living situation like? Did you have roommates, or what was? I want to hear about your first New York apartment.
Okay, well, technically, like technically, I mean, I stayed in people's apartments, but
Yeah.
technically, I've been in the same apartment since
Oh,
I
really?
moved. I'm that person now. I am that New York character. I have lived in the same rent stabilized studio for 21 years.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I mean, I am that person now. I can't believe that it's been that long.
Wow.
And it's so funny because when I first moved there, my buddy Cameron lived with me and we were sharing it. And it's a tiny studio apartment, but we had little Chinese screens that separated our beds and we were in college
Yeah.
together. And
Yeah.
it's sort of what everybody did. But my building is owned by an incredible hotel, the Chelsea Hotel. So there's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
And then we actually were subletting through somebody and they relinquished the lease and we were able to stay there and it was just incredible. And then
Uh,
unfortunately, Cameron moved back to Arizona and I just took over the apartment myself. But it's this like beautiful little oasis for me. It's small. It's 375 square feet. So when people say their apartments are small, I'm like, mm-mm-mm.
yeah.
Come on over.
Yeah.
MTV Cribs would be like, and that's a wrap. Like,
But it's this kind of like is one of those things where you sacrifice and live in a place that is kind of like is not like, because you could live almost anywhere else in the country and have a yard and a house and all of these things, but living in a studio in Chelsea, yes,
yeah,
is like everything.
it
It is
is.
like the most magical place.
It's centrally located.
Yeah,
It's just a great neighborhood. I've seen the neighborhood change so much, which I love as well. And little buildings turning into brownstones. I mean, it's been really fascinating to sort of
yeah.
see Chelsea transform. But I
Uh,
love it, and I can't imagine living anywhere else. I really
yeah.
can't. I'd
One
love
of,
like a little cabin in the woods, but like New York is where it's at.
yep.
You
My
can get Chinese food at 4 a.m. Like, come on, that's amazing.
right?
Yeah.
My one of my buddies lives at the Chelsea Enclave on 9th and 21st. So
Oh, yeah.
I've kind of seen the 11th Avenue from like 23rd, below 23rd Street down, for those blocks, all those condos go up over a
Oh, I
span
know.
of the last 10 years, and then watch the High Line
Yeah.
getting and all of a sudden it's become this vibrant like place where tourists come to visit, and it's
Yeah.
kind of changed the property values in Chelsea in such a great and wonderful way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It is the hot spot to be. It really is.
so let's just see. So Joey, two step. This is a great question because it's in line with supporting small businesses, which is exactly what we want to do.
Yeah.
What's your favorite bar?
Oh, God, that's a tough one. Okay. My favorite bar, well, I would say my favorite bar restaurant is Elmo. It's in
Oh,
Chelsea. It's on 7th Avenue between 19th and 20th.
hmm.
If you want the most delicious roasted tomato soup with little tiny grilled cheese, heaven. And their cocktails are incredible. They've got like frozen margaritas, lychee martinis. It's just so good. But yeah, they've delivered quite a bit to my apartment. You know it's bad when they know you by name and it's like, here's your tomato soup and your chocolate cake.
That's amazing.
I
Uh,
love everybody. Oh, yay. Oh, Desmond's. Angelica, I think Desmond's might be closed down. I'm not sure about that.
oh, Desmond's. Oh, did
That's
they?
a bar on Park Avenue that we used to go to in college.
Oh, okay.
And but I don't know. It looked like it was shut down when I passed by.
Eliza Johnson is loving her.
Hi.
She's also gave you some love earlier. She's like, working with Kathy is the best.
I love you.
Um,
Come on, girl. Working with you is amazing.
uh, so was there? Tell me what made you fall in love with New York. Was there one moment, or were there a series of events?
I think, and now as I get older, sometimes I fall out of love with New York. I do.
Yes, yes.
But then I fall madly in love with it again. I mean, this time of year, fall into winter, where you hear a saxophone player and you smell the roasted nuts, like in the Christmas tree in Rock Center. Like, it's just, it's this beautiful place. And even during traumas, and I experienced 9/11, I experienced the blackout, the
Mm,
pandemic. I've seen it shift and change, but it still always bounces back.
mm,
And I just think that that's why I keep falling in love with the city, is
yeah.
that, when we lost Broadway, we kind of lost our heart. And then the
Hmm.
marquee lights are back on, and it's like the spirit is back. I walked through Times Square last night for the first time in a long time, and I was like, I'm in Times Square. But then I thought, oh my God, I'm in Times Square and it's packed and I'm so annoyed. Yay! Like I was just so happy. But yeah, I think that there's always neighborhoods that will make me fall in love with New York, like Rockefeller Center and Columbus Circle. I love. And then like the West Village, just going down there and all the little restaurants and cafes that have been around forever. Minetta Tavern, like it's these institutions that make me so happy that they've lasted as long as they have and they are New York staples.
Yeah. I love that. And also Eliza, is it Eliza? Eliza Johnson.
Yeah.
Uh, the
Oh,
the Andrea on West 13th.
oh, I don't know if I've tried it.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, I'm like the worst at accents.
You
Although
do a ton of them.
you are excellent at accents, and
Thank
all my
you.
friends think I'm possibly the worst uh,
No,
accent.
you sound like you could be like a professor on Harry Potter. I love it.
You naturally have always had really great like you could just like you could flip from one thing to we had such a good time on the set. I remember
Yeah.
it was a pet food. It was a
Tidy cats.
huh
Tidy cats.
tidy cats.
And we got to
Yeah,
go to, was it Cincinnati?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
somewhere.
good time. That
It
was a
was
good time.
so much fun.
You kind of made that whole thing. Well, you was just so funny and so fun, and you did also voiceover stuff for it too.
Yeah,
And your timing has always been a laser sharp.
I
And
love you. Are
uh,
any producers watching right now? Who wants to hire me? I'm available.
so like this is kind of great. I love that you were talking about all these different neighborhoods. So tell me. So let's spend a little time giving some small business love.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
so
Um,
so we talked about Elmo, which is a lovely place. I
love,
love
love,
that.
love.
We'll tag them in our repost, and we'll put it on our IG Live TV
Oh, yay.
and our YouTube channel, which everyone should check out. Where that's where we did all of our other. We're reposting them there.
I
Uh,
love it. You can have great celebrity sightings at Elmo too.
oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Very,
really?
it's very lovely. Yes, I've had a few in my day. And I thought, oh, interesting. And then I never say anything. I never have the balls to say anything because I want to be like, I'm an actor too. I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, yeah, I'll work with you at some point on
Yeah,
a series that we'll work together on, and then
yeah. And then we'll talk about it, and I'll talk about like I saw you at Elmo that time. I was the one chowing down on the roasted tomato soup and the truffle fries and the chips and guac.
um, okay,
I
give me
love
some.
small businesses. Okay,
Yeah.
I love, and I actually worked with them. It's a beautiful a store called Outlet. And they're now on the Upper West Side. They used to have a place in Chelsea. The owners are amazing. They have beautiful jewelry that like one of a kind pieces that I just absolutely loved, and I kind of fell in love with shopping there. And then around the holidays, I worked with them, which was so fun. This was years ago. And I just love Ruth and her taste in jewelry, and she picks beautiful pieces. She's also amazing at helping people craft like a jewelry moment. And
Oh,
she's not about like, I'm going to upsell you. It's like really genuinely about, I want you to feel good in the jewelry.
right.
And it's just, I love the pieces. So very different. Like the designers I've fallen in love with, they're
Yeah,
incredible.
that's awesome.
Um,
Great.
yes. What other small businesses?
Because
Ooh,
this is exactly the fabric of what what New York is, right? It's all of these entrepreneurs, these like incredibly driven people that bring the New York to life, and
yeah.
it's us as New Yorkers we and to support all of these small businesses. So I'm
So important.
yeah, so I'm excited that you're sharing this with us. What else?
Okay, well, I want to support a small business, but they're not in New York, but it's worth the train ride.
Okay.
So I love a good massage.
Yes.
And there is a place called the Healing Collective. I highly recommend everyone following. They're very inspirational. But holy hell, their massages are the best. Absolutely incredible. Like an
Mm,
hour and a half of bliss. If you can swing the hour and a half, do it. If not, the hour is still bliss. But they are incredible.
awesome.
Yeah, the Healing Collective.
The Healing Collective.
Joey Two-Step.
Joey
Joey
Two Step.
loves food. So please need to know the best bagel, Murray's Bagels in Chelsea,
Murray's
8th
Vegas.
Avenue,
I
also a
love
small
that.
business. They're between 22nd and 23rd. Pizza and hot dogs. Well, Gray's Papaya, obviously, is a staple
Mm,
in New York on 72nd and Broadway.
yep.
And pizza, that's like choosing your favorite child. Come on, there's amazing pizza places. I personally love Two Boots Pizza.
Oh yeah.
I love them. My sister turned me on to Mama Two's, which is on
Mm,
the Upper West Side. Apparently, Jerry Seinfeld had talked about it in an interview. And
mm,
she was like, well, let me try this pizza. And ooh, it is an amazing slice that you can get there.
mm.
Yeah.
Mama Twos.
Mama
Okay,
Two's.
good. So
Yeah.
this is exactly I was gonna take us to a fun word association game where one of my questions was
Love
gonna
it.
be your favorite pizza joint, but
Oh, I
uh,
could go on and on about pizza. It's a problem.
Joey Two Step, would you like to co-host this
I
with
think
me?
he, I think he does. Fun fact, he's actually my boyfriend.
Oh,
Of course, he wants to come in and ask some questions.
awesome. That's fun because my sister and business partner are making fun of me and my accents. who
No, I
are
liked
always
your Harry Potter accent.
thank you for
It
your
was
love
very
and support.
proper. It was proper.
It was very proper.
Yes,
I just need to listen to it over and over again.
exactly. It's very genuine and sweet.
Okay, so this is going to be another fun thing. You're so lovely. I'm really
You're
enjoying.
amazing. It's so
Um,
nice to reconnect with you.
I know it's so
And I'm
great.
honored that you would want me a part of this.
Well, because you're a very amazing, wonderful friend and a notable New Yorker, a successful and talented actor, and you're the fabric of what New York is. So
Thank you for
um,
saying that.
I'm honored to have you. So for
Thank you.
me, I want to talk about and this all came from wanting wanting to give all the love we can to New York and small businesses because we love supporting each other.
Yeah.
So let's play a fun word association game about New York, shall we?
Okay. Yes.
Uh, okay. So before we go, Michael is saying, Angelica, our connection hasn't been but.
They're college friends. Love them.
Okay. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to say a couple of word association fun things, and then you tell me whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
And here we go.
Okay.
Favorite New York live performance?
Of all times,
Hey,
the incredible band Red Wanting Blue. I'm a
mm,
huge fan of their music. Um,
where did you
they
see them?
they performed at City Winery recently.
Oh,
They perform all over New York, all over. They're just incredible. Check them out on Instagram, Red Wanting Blue. They've got like this great American rock and roll vibe. Um, Favorite like theater experience of all time. I remember seeing Tyne Daly in Gypsy, and I turned to my mom at a very young age and I said, I know what I want to do. And she said, what? And I said, I want to play Dressy Tessie Tora, which literally they were in one number, but to me, they stole the show. So I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. And my mom was like, so you want to dress up like a prostitute and sing on the stage about being a prostitute? Great. But I've had, yeah, just so many great live experiences. Theater is, it's my heart and soul, and it is the heart and soul of New York. It really
yeah,
is.
100%.
Yeah.
Give me your favorite park.
You know what? Okay, obviously Central Park, but I love Madison Square Park. I
Hmm.
really do. And they have a beautiful art exhibition going on right now. I don't know what you would call it, but it's called the Ghost Forest, and it's just really beautiful. It's like all of these trees, and
Hmm.
it's beautiful. And I love they have like a little gingerbread house during the holidays. It's right at Madison and 23rd Street, and it's they have the Shake Shack there, which You know,
Mhm.
I've never been there. I've never eaten their hot dogs and cheeseburgers numerous times. I like elastic waistbands. But I do, I just think it's beautiful. And the cloisters is
The point.
amazing. Yeah.
That's Kathy. That's my neighborhood. I live up here.
You
Uh,
do?
and
Why have
remember
we
how
never
you?
hung out?
Yeah, remember how you earlier you were like, walking the streets got me through COVID. Fort Tryon Park really got me through the
Heaven.
the
Yes,
COVID times. Because it's so I always gravitate towards green because it's such a
me
great
too. I know. I
recharge
love it.
battery.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, you're getting some Madison Square Park love.
Yay! I know. It's just so great. I
Do you
love.
have a New York hidden gem?
Ooh. Okay. I mean, there's so many incredible like hair salons, nail salons. A New York hidden gem. I would have to say I mean, people know about this restaurant, but I will never get bored of it. La Esquina,
I don't know it.
downtown. Oh, let me tell you about La Esquina. La Esquina is right on, I think it's Kenmare. It's a taco shop, but then you knock on the door, you go downstairs through the kitchen, and it's like this incredible, like, cave restaurant, Mexican restaurant that is delicious, great cocktails, but it is literally hidden. You have to make reservations. But it is talk about like a great New York place to take people to. Every time I've had people visit, I'm always like, oh, let me surprise people and like take them to La Esquina because I feel very fancy.
Oh,
Um, but they've got like this beautiful like candelabra with all these old candles and wax that's, from years and years. But it's really, really cool and the food is delicious.
well, you sold me. I'm going.
Yes, La Esquina. Let's all make reservations together. Last time I went there, I think I had like 11 p.m. reservations, and I was like, it doesn't matter. It's cool. Meanwhile, I had to take like a disco nap before we even went out and ate.
That's fun because I was like, you had me at tacos when you knocked
Oh,
before I
yeah.
go anywhere.
The
At,
ceviche is so good. Oh, it's just so good. I feel like I've become a foodie more and more now as I get older.
yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna give up alcohol and I'm gonna eat my calories.
I love
Much better, much better.
Beth. Yes, let's absolutely go there. I would love to do that.
Beth, I'm coming with you guys. So,
Okay, done, deal. So give me a commuting pet peeve.
ugh, even in COVID. Okay, if you touch the pole, like if I see you wipe your nose, I want to go up to you and say something. Because it just happened recently on the subway, and I was horrified. And my first thought was, even in COVID? Um, it was this horrible. I usually hold the pole right here. So, like, it's just because I want to be polite to the next people. Sometimes I get clammy hands.
Yeah.
So I just like hold the pole that way. And then also I've had the experience where people like their hand magically just slides on top of yours, and I'm like, what? What's happening
What?
here? Yeah. Where
Oh,
there's so many hands holding the pole
oh
that
yeah.
it's like one just slides down.
I can't get over anyone who would touch the pole and then touch their face in the in
I know.
COVID world. I
I
just
know. I
it makes
know.
it makes no sense to me. Okay, I want to get your favorite coffee spot.
Ooh, this is good because I do love me some caffeine. Could you tell everybody? Um, so there's a beautiful coffee house on 23rd and 7th Avenue. I think it's called Coffee East.
Hmm.
They have killer croissants. If you like almond croissants, they have really yummy, like bakery style, but their coffee is really good. They're really kind there. It used to be a nail salon too. It used to be this huge nail salon, and I just love what they've done with it. Um, I mean, of course, I'll say yes to Starbucks, but we've got Joe's Coffee everywhere too, and
Mhm.
they're great. They love their spot on Waverly and Gay.
Mhm.
That's a cute little location. Love.
Hmm.
But yeah, coffee is like, how I get through.
I love this. It's my I can't do anything without coffee and first thing in the
I
morning.
can't function.
Yeah,
It's now a thing where I've become that person. I'm that New
yeah.
York character that needs my New York coffee.
So I have two more. I have two more. We're gonna wrap it up. But before we do, I want everyone who's watching today to just a friendly reminder. We're doing this every Tuesday night, 7 p.m.
So cool.
It's kind of been amazing where we bring on our friends, notable New Yorkers, to talk about their New York, and I want the people who are not in New York to come visit us and
Yes.
come support all of these small businesses that Kathy's talking about. If you live in New York, go support your small businesses because that's what we do. We support each other,
We
right?
have to. Yeah.
Um, so to wrap this up, I have two more final questions. You're
Bring it on.
you kind of answered this a little bit, but I want another option. What is your favorite place to take a New York tourist?
Ooh.
Not a New York tourist, but just a tourist who comes to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh. For food or just like an experience?
experience.
Mm. Okay, so I love any like immersive experience. So I was in love with the Van Gogh experience.
Mm,
I right now the Banksy exhibit is awesome on 14th and 6th.
mm,
So any type of like immersive experience. I love the uh, Museum of Illusions, 14th and 8th Avenue. Anytime people can feel like they're seeing something, they're part of something, it's like cool and weird.
mm.
And of course, great Instagrammable photos for people.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I feel like I will take someone to an immersive experience. Obviously, if now that Broadway's back, I will always take people to a Broadway show.
yeah.
And you can't go wrong with Corner Bistro for a good burger,
Corner Bistro. I love that. I'm
classic
I'm of the
burger.
I'm of the lazy. Take a tourist to a place. I'll put them on the Circle Line bus.
Do you really?
But I actually really love it because you sit up top, you see New York, and
Yeah,
then you can be like, hey, which part of New York did you really love? We can come back and visit, and I'll take you to here or there. That
I
way they can
love
kind of see
that.
it
You
without.
know, the last time someone came, they made me go on that speedboat that goes around.
Oh,
That
how
was
was
in
that?
I mean, it was intense because I don't love boats. But it was similar where we saw different things and I thought like, oh, we should go down there, like,
Mm,
down by the Statue of Liberty. Such a
yeah,
great area. The Palm is down there if you want a good
yeah.
steak. And
You
um,
know, I'll
you're right. I'm supposed to support my great Uni-K Wax in the West Village. Love them. If you need a good waxing, which everyone does, I don't
yes.
care where on your body, get rid of that back hair. Get rid of
Thank you,
that. Yeah,
thank you for
love it.
that, sweet Tula. Uh,
Yes.
so my alternative to the speedboat is the classic Harbor Line cruises. It's
Yes.
like on a sailboat, and you cruise, you watch the sunset, and it's like you could either go all the way around Manhattan or you do the Statue of Liberty, like Lower Manhattan kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful night if you choose to do that.
I
Okay,
love that.
give me your weirdest only in New York moment.
Oh God. I mean, I've had a lot of New York moments. I think my favorite New York moments are when you see someone of note, of celebrity.
Hmm.
Um, I remember I was walking up 23rd Street, I'm sorry, up 7th Avenue, and Harrison Ford was, and there were people out and about, and no one gave a shit. And I thought, it's Harrison Ford. Like I mean, come on. Like I was thinking about, obviously people will think of other movies, but I was in that moment thinking of this great movie that he did called Regarding Henry. And I was like, I mean, it's Harrison Ford. And he saw that I saw him and he just smiled, laughed, and sort of cheers because we both had coffee cups.
Oh,
And it was just, I love that about New York City, that it
mm,
doesn't matter who you are. I've had, again, celebrity run ins are always the best, But a lot of the times people are just like, oh, cool. I saw Michael Stipe. Oh, cool. Bono. Like, it's just this vibe of everyone's equal.
Yeah.
And that's why I'll never leave New York because it's like, yeah, we're all in this shit together. It doesn't matter what your paycheck is. Like, we're all getting on the subway or dealing with, heavy foot commuters that are just like slowly walking around. It's
Yeah.
just it's just, I don't know. I'll never get tired of New York. It really is. And it is the city that is constantly changing and changing
Hmm.
for the better. I
Hmm.
wish, like, when people say make America great again, there was a guy on the train that had a hat that said "Make America New York," and I thought,
Hmm.
yes, because we are the melting pot of the world, and if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
Because
You,
it's a great city, but it will beat the shit out of you in the best way. Makes you stronger.
and helps you to grow.
It does. It really does. I mean, this is where I grew up, and this is, I think, where people become better humans because there is, s- especially during COVID, we saw a lot more of the homeless population. And I've seen more New Yorkers reach out to those homeless men and women on the street, give them food, ask if they need anything. It's been a beautiful time of people connecting with one another.
Hmm.
And you don't see that in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So that's
You're you're just so lovely and wonderful, and I
oh,
really thank
lovely.
you for your time, and thank you for sharing your New York and these amazing small businesses that we're gonna give some love to. So thank you for that. And
Thank
I
you.
imagine that when Harrison Ford gave you a hello, or I imagine that he was like, "I know who you are, Kathy."
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
That'd be
And
amazing.
only in New York will you see people pee on the street too. You know what I mean? You can see Harrison Ford, and then you can walk down another block and you see somebody pissing on the street, and you're like, "Yep, that's New
Yep,
York."
we're back.
Totally. So true. I
It's so
love you.
great to
It's so
see
good
you.
to see you.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you so much, and
Thank
I look
you.
forward to our restaurant time
Yes. And then we'll
very
do a
soon.
coffee walk in Fort Tyrone Park and just hang
Yes,
out.
yes, and let's do it. I love it.
I
Thank
love
you.
it too. Thank you. And keep being amazing and helping people find their homes. I love that.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye,
Sounds good.
everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.